How's it going, guys? Lou here, aka the DFS Data Dad. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the thumbnail. Had a lot of fun creating that one. Anyone who's watched the Rocky movies knows that's Rocky and Apollo Creed squaring off. So that's what I feel like we're getting this weekend when we see Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson square off. Two really fun teams to watch. I wish both of them could be in the AFC Championship, but unfortunately, one of them has to win this week to most likely face the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. But just wanted to circle back. I did a video a few days back, first look of what I'm thinking in terms of DFS for this slate. My thoughts have actually changed a little bit since I've been able to take in some more information. So let's get right into it position by position. A couple days ago, I was pretty much all in on Patrick Mahomes at 6K. He's just really cheap. You know the talent that you're getting out of him. And as of late, the Chiefs have looked really good on offense. We see Mahomes has scored about 24 or 29 fantasy points his last two games. My only qualm about playing Patrick Mahomes is that the Texans are not projected to score a lot of points. So the odds of this game turning into a high-scoring affair where they need Mahomes to actually score a lot of points and throw a lot of touchdowns is looking less likely. Also knowing that they have such a strong upper hand on the Texans this week, they might want to be a little more conservative with the playbook and save some of those bigger plays for later in the playoffs. So a few learnings I've taken away from this week on Patrick Mahomes. I'm still going to play two lineups with him. Initially going into this weekend, I was only going to play two lineups. I'm now changing my mind. I'll double that. I'm going to play four, so I'm going to have $100 at stake in DFS. Half of them probably on Mahomes. But really what I'm looking to now, I've really gotten a little more excited about Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. So this game, last time I checked, is projected to be pretty high scoring on both sides of the ball, or both sides of the field here. I lean a little bit more towards Josh Allen. He does get a lot of yards with his legs. I don't see that changing. He's averaged at least 55 yards in the post game every season that he's played. And he's actually really good against man coverage, and Baltimore ranks 8th in man coverage. So a pretty good matchup for him here. I like a few of his pass catchers that you can pair him with. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But I am starting. I've warmed up a lot to Josh Allen, even though in my previous videos I'm sure you've heard me say that I don't like the Bills' offense just because of how hard it is to project and the fact that Josh Allen doesn't bring many people with him when he scores a lot of points. It's usually done solely by him because of his legs, or done by him and James Cook. I'm going to change my tune. I want to be on the right side if I actually do get it right with the Bills stack here. And I have a pretty good idea of who can help get us there alongside Josh Allen. But I do like him. And the other play that I'm warming up to a little bit more is Jaden Daniels. I think the Lions, rightfully so, are heavy favorites in this game, 9.5 points. Jaden Daniels, in the sense of maybe I'd be a little more comfortable running him naked, just because of how many yards he can get with his legs. Might be under pressure a lot, might need to scramble a lot, and the Lions actually allow a lot of yards to quarterbacks. So seeing how mobile Jaden Daniels is, the fact that they're going to need to push pace to keep up and score points, makes me like him a little bit more. And then obviously Jared Goff, he's pretty cheap, $6,300 for somebody in such an elite offense, and he's pretty high against man coverage, making this a pretty good matchup for him since the Commanders run man at a pretty high clip, 6th overall in the league. So yeah, a lot of quarterbacks here on the slate with good matchups. Even Lamar has a pretty good matchup with the Bills, even though the Bills' defense is a little healthier. I just expect this game to hopefully shoot out. There's a reason why this game is on Sunday night. I think it'll probably be one of the most anticipated games of the playoffs. Lamar is really good against too high coverage. Bills run too high coverage, top 5 in the league. So both of these guys, Lamar and Josh Allen, have pretty good matchups. I lean a little bit more towards Allen, even though I think the Ravens are going to win. But yeah, a lot of good quarterback plays on the slate here. Really gravitating to the higher scoring projected games in this case. So that Buffalo Ravens game, and then also the Lions and Commanders. I do see rain in the forecast here for Buffalo. I need to check that out a little bit more. It's definitely one of those variables that we have to factor in when we think about DFS. So keep an eye on that, and if there's anything of significance, then might need to look somewhere else for quarterback, but I'm not too worried about it just yet. My stance on running back really hasn't changed much. My main interest is really around these top three guys. Barkley, really good matchup. The offense solely runs through him. Yeah, he's just first in yards before contact. Just really good. We see him rip off an explosive play at least once a game. Rams allow a lot of yards per contact, one of the most in the league. Although they did look good against the Vikings, but I don't think the Vikings offensive line really compares to the Eagles offensive line. And then Derrick Henry, we saw what he did against the Bills earlier this year. I get it's playoff football, but again, another guy this offense really runs through. You can see he's on an absolute tear as of late. Floor for at least 25 touches. The Bills run D, we know that's their weakness. Avoids a lot of tackles. Buffalo defense ranks third in missed tackle rate. So if the Bills have any weakness, it's on defense, it's their ability to tackle and their ability to stop the run. So all signs that Derrick Henry will have a really good game. And Jahmyr Gibbs, Lions have one of the best offensive lines, and we know that the Commanders really aren't good at stopping the run. They do get David Montgomery back, but I don't know how healthy he is, and I really don't see that working into Jahmyr Gibbs' workload so much just because of how good Jahmyr Gibbs actually is. So those three guys are the guys I'm really looking to mix into my lineups. At the wide receiver position, starting to warm up to Amon-Ra St. Brown a lot. I really don't think that there's anybody on the Commanders' defense that will be able to stop him. Going to garner a lot of targets. You could stack him with Jared Goff. I think that even Jameson Williams, who might be lower owned just because of how inconsistent he can be, but we know that he can take the top off of defenses. And Washington's coverage has been man coverage or cover 3 all season, which is what Williams is really good against. So again, a really good matchup for these Lions wide receivers. I'm still on to Keon Coleman as my really cheap play to stack with Josh Allen. He's just really good against man coverage, and that's what Baltimore runs. So, and we've also seen him get targeted at a higher clip against man. Last game against Baltimore he had a little over 50 yards. We know that he has big playability, so we can see his long plays, 57, 64. So 49, any given moment he can catch one of those long balls and take it to the house. Especially with such a projected high scoring affair. This could be one of those games where he really eats. And then in terms of value, I also do like Hollywood Brown. The routes he has run, he's been targeted a lot. He's seen a lot of volume since he's come back from injury, 15 targets in 2 games. My only issue is that if the Texans are able to get pressure and force Mahomes get the ball out quick, he might not get some of those downfield looks or might not be able to get some of those outside looks. And I thought Derek Stingley looked really good last game, picking off Justin Herbert a couple times. And then A.J. Brown, I think this is a get-right spot for him. I think all the stars are really aligning. The Rams are worse in the league against outside wideouts. A.J. Brown lines up on the outside a lot. Most of his yards come from lining up on the outside. So I think it's one of these matchups where he can dominate if the Rams decide to key in on Saquon Barkley and trying to stop the run, forcing Jalen Hurts to throw the ball. We know Jalen Hurts is going to look either one of A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith's way. A.J. Brown having a 22% target share can really set him up for success. I do want to point out that Curtis Samuel is still $3,400. Going into this year, I was a big Curtis Samuel guy, seeing how good of a year he had with the Commanders with Sam Howell last year. I think he's still a good football player, and he's still dynamic enough where he should be on the field, taking jet sweeps, taking those shallow routes. He even had a long play last week for 55 yards. I'm totally okay playing Curtis Samuel too. If it's a good way to get access to Josh Allen in stacking, with maybe 2 to 3 pass catchers, so you could stack with Keon, Dalton Kincaid, and Curtis Samuel. Just hope all the passing volume goes to them and not Khalil Shakir. But yeah, my stance too much hasn't changed on wideouts. I do like Nico Collins a lot too. It's just I think the Chiefs are really good. They're going to be able to dominate time of possession, and they're really good at taking away the opposing team's biggest offensive threat, and that's clearly Nico Collins. So I think they'll probably try to lock him up. At the tight end position, I still really like Travis Kelce. Seeing how bad the Houston Texans struggle in the red zone, and what a great red zone weapon Travis Kelce actually is. So I think he's a great play at $5K, pretty cheap. All these tight ends are actually pretty good plays in my opinion. Mark Andrews, another guy, ranks 4th tight end receiving grade against zone coverage. He'll face a Buffalo defense that runs zone coverage at the 10th highest rate. Even Zach Ertz gets targeted at a higher rate against man, and probably going to see an increased opportunity there. And then lastly, Dalton Schultz. So my previous video, I thought Deontay Johnson would see an increased role. Boy, was I wrong about that one, because he actually is going to see a lesser role because he was waived. He's no longer on the Texans. Actually picked up again by the Baltimore Ravens, so I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but he won't be playing the playoffs. They'll probably make some sort of decision on him next year in the offseason. But at least for now, no more Deontay Johnson. Dalton Schultz. We know that the Kansas City Chiefs' weakness is against tight ends. They rank one of the worst defending that position in the league. I'm not sold on Dalton Schultz. I think this is just a punt/volume play. If we are going to shift priority out of Nico Collins into some other pass catcher, I think that's John Mechie. Sorry to go back to the wide receivers here, but last game saw 8 targets, had 4 receptions for 28 yards. I just don't think that the big playability is going to be there against the Chiefs defense, or the ability to score touchdowns, which is why I didn't really mention him in my previous talk about it. But yeah, if you want to play John Mechie, go for it. He's cheap, but I'd rather go down to Curtis Samuel. And yeah, Dalton Kincaid, I put him in all my lineups last week thinking that, the Bills will revert back to using him a lot. He had a stretch here in the middle of the season where the floor he was seeing is like 5-6 targets. But as of late, the past few weeks, just hasn't been used as much. He's splitting time on the field with Dawson Knox. But for $3,700 tied to a team that's home favorites, projected to score a lot of points, I think it's worth taking a shot at him. And yeah, on the defensive side, I really don't have too much interest outside of the Chiefs and Eagles. Nothing has really changed since the last time, or since my first look video. So we're going to try to build a different lineup here. A couple days ago, I went with Mahomes. We'll take the risk here and try to put some cheap Bills wide receivers in here, along with Dalton Kincaid, and then see what that can get us. So we have Allen, Coleman, Samuel, and Dalton Kincaid. Let's just pay out for the Chiefs defense. So we have $68.75 left to pay. I do like Travis Kelce here, elite tight ends. I think he can score a lot of points. On the wide receiver side, be nice if we can get Amon-Ra, and if we were able to get Barkley and Derrick Henry. Let's actually see if there's any way we can swing that. Maybe we pay down, get the Eagles D, Maybe we pay down and rely on Mark Andrews. Good matchup. Yeah, let's do that. So we have Josh Allen. We have the best 2 running backs on the slate. We have Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Dalton Kincaid, and Mark Andrews with the Eagles D. I like it. The other variation maybe we can do is maybe we go Sam Laporta and the Chiefs D. That looks fun too. That looks interesting. But we just have to hope that all the volume goes to Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Dalton Kincaid in terms of passing. So collectively, the last game, that's a combination of 3 targets, 3 targets, and 3 targets. That's 9 total targets out of 3 guys. It's very risky, but that's how you win. I think that's how you get different. Not saying this is a winning lineup by any means, but it's one I'm willing to bet on, seeing how good the Bills' offense is, and the fact that you get these 3 guys. And that's not Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's AJ Brown. Okay, I still think AJ Brown is a good bet there. That's fine. You just don't have any access to any Lions players if we were to do the inverse of that lineup, right, where we went Mark Andrews. Yeah, so then we don't have any Lions here. I think Derrick Henry's a smash, more so than Barkley. And then you can do Gibbs, and then you can do Travis Kelce. So then you have Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs, Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, A.J. Brown, Dalton Kincaid, Travis Kelce. I think that's an awesome lineup too. But let me know what you guys think. That's my final thoughts up until kickoff. If you're playing in this contest, hopefully you win $1 million, or somebody here wins $1 million, maybe with my help. But best of luck in best ball, best of luck in any sports betting, and best of luck in any DFS. We'll be back in a couple days to review how everything went, and hopefully start breaking down the conference championship round. So best of luck, guys. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, comment. Any interaction helps me out. It'll keep me going and hopefully give you guys some good information. So thanks for watching. See you next time.